Great morning. Great morning. Sanaya Powell here, bringing you a 2022 mindful moment with me. This is day 6. Can you all believe that this is day 6 of this new year? So, super excited to bring this much needed conversation to you all. So, today is going to be all about what Utopia Living is all about, self care. And it's really a conversation around how do we cultivate how do we create our own self-care practices, our own self-care rituals, those practices that we want to commit to daily. They become a part of our lifestyle. And I think it's so fitting, especially during this time when we are still reeling from COVID. We're still reeling from hybrid work. We're still reeling from uncertainty, loss of loved ones. And we're seeing this fallout, right? We're seeing the burnout and the fallout on so many levels. The news is headlining almost daily the great resignation. I just want to know, where are these people getting their money from? Who knew so many people could quit their job and still survive? Like I guess I don't really know what that looks like. I've been working hard since I was 15. I have been earning a paycheck official. I had a work permit at 15. Many of you know that I am a third generation entrepreneur. And from that, there's just a work ethic, there's a grit factor, there's just kind of this intensity that you grow up with in terms of being hard workers. And that's something that runs in my family. It's an expectation. How do you chip in? How do we help? How do we support not only one another, but even my mom conditioned us, if we're at someone else's house, we help them clean, we help them straighten up. Whatever they're doing, we help them do. And then we have the same mentality if you spend the night at our house. So it's really that, I would say, kind of that driver achiever mindset, and doer and helper mindset. So one of the things about that is it helped me to realize the importance of self-care. It helped me to really understand growing up, as a third generation entrepreneur. Of course, I wasn't always an entrepreneur, but I did start selling candy even in like junior high. So I've always had a way to bring in some revenue. Thank you, Dee. So true. She was brought up like that as well. That's Dee. That's why you and I just kind of work so well together, because you lean in and you support. And so, and Dee is our operations manager, and she has been super present and supportive all week, which also truly, truly matters to those of us that are in grind mode quite a bit. And so, with that, it's easy, you all. It's easy, even if you are not a founder or an entrepreneur, if you are a mom, if you are a dad, if you are a professional, if you live in this country, we tend to burn ourselves out. And so I want to have a conversation that helps us to go from burnout to really leveling up our well-being so we can be on fire, so we can crush it in 2022, so we can have a year that is not just filled with check marks of accomplishments, but filled with peace, filled with abundance, filled with quality time moments. There is no price for our peace. And one of my favorite affirmations and quotes that I created, it's in my book, 30 Days to Utopia Living, is there is power in our peace. Therefore, we must protect it. We must protect it. We also must know how to produce it. So let's talk about that this morning, as we are going to really talk about creating our own self-care rituals. So I love this topic. Love it. So Dee, let's hear from you. What are some of your self-care rituals? While she's sharing with us, and anyone else that you're out there watching, share with us, put it in the chat. What are some of your self-care rituals? I always like to start with the definition. What does self-care mean? So self-care is actually the practice or the action of improving one's own health. As we're going into this new year, we're in it, you all. We're almost a weekend. This is 6 days. And so I have committed to 7 days to launch us into this new year. 7 days of Utopia mindful moments with me, really to give the world, self-care strategies to really invest in your well-being, to level that up. Not only, hi, Mary Beth, so good to see you. Mary Beth is a member of our Utopia family and provides wonderful yoga classes. So good to see you. And so, Mary Beth, share with us some of your self-care strategies and routines. So, as I was saying, this is a way for us to elevate our well-being individually as well as corporately, as well as for your team. I also want to share that not only are we doing this, this is really an entree into a greater body of work. Our Let's Get Healthy Together movement. This is available free. Yes, this is our gift, our 2022 gift, starting off in the spirit of giving back. Free online wellness classes and on demand. So we really focus on multicultural wellness that celebrates global diversity. We bring in practices from around the globe. We have wonderful yoga, we have Pilates, we have some global movement, we have a little Bollywood Zumba. We have some reggaeton, some kubia, and we just added kukawa, which is a African dance class that is so fun. It's almost like Zumba for African dance. And we had that instructor partner with us yesterday. All of these things are ways to level up your well-being, and we're providing that for free. So you can just check out the links. You can even get your team on board with Let's Get Healthy Together. And we can even provide you with curated corporate wellness experiences. So all of this is to level up our self-care together. So with that being said, I'm going to go and see what we have here in the chat. So it looks like Dee does a daily devotion, which is the way she starts off her day. Also taking a quick mental moments throughout the day. Love it. Same. And let's hear from others as well. And so we're going to talk about creating that morning routine, that evening routine, and then all in between. So the practice of taking an active role in protecting your well-being and your happiness, that is part of the definition of self-care, in particular during times of stress. So we are suffering from time poverty in this world, in this country. We're suffering from the pandemic. We're suffering from work overload, and then trying to figure out what we also talked about this week, where to create proper boundaries. So let's talk about how we start our morning. You might guess I might be drinking coffee, but I'm not. One of the things that we can do is making sure that we're starting our mornings in a way that's going to be elevating our peace, elevating just that fire for the day, a sense of, I'm ready to conquer the day, but doing so in a way that allows you to start off right. So I always say, sometimes we think that we have gone to bed on the wrong side. They say, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I would say we probably went to sleep on the wrong side of the bed. So how we start our day in the morning has a lot to do with how we went to bed the night before. So I'm actually going to start a little bit in reverse. In order for you to have a great morning, you really need to have a restful, peaceful night. So the way you start your morning really starts with the way you went to bed. And the reason I say that is because studies show that what goes into our subconscious, the last 20 minutes, actually affects our dreams. And it also affects our rest, our sleep. And this is not just having an impact on our mental well-being, which is driving everything. We have to have a clear, fresh, renewed mind in order to conquer the day, in order to deal with the uncertainties, in order to deal with the stress levels, in order to deal with the to-do list. So going to bed on something that is peaceful in terms of, your final thoughts of the evening, reading something, not that's going to be a murder mystery, not something that's going to be anxiety producing. You don't want to read or watch news, anxiety producing programming. Go to bed on something that is peaceful, quiet time. Maybe you have a devotional, or you have some other sort of book of poems. Maybe you bed doing your affirmations. or even writing down one thing that you were grateful for, at least if you're just getting started. What does that look like for you? I'm going to start there, and then I'm going to start our morning, and then we're going to go back to the evening. So that's important. Sleeping with lights off and TV off is very important. I know some people have difficulty sleeping in silence. I'm the opposite. I have to sleep in silence. I cannot sleep with noise or light, but that's what we want, because when we sleep in silence and darkness, what happens is that our bodies are able to go into a deep form of sleep. And that's when our bodies are able to rejuvenate our antibodies. That's when our immune system is able to restore and replenish so it can fight off all the viruses, all the colds, all of the other things that cause our bodies to break down when we're experiencing high levels of stress. So we really want to practice getting quality sleep so we can wake up refreshed, renewed, and ready for the day. The other thing is, if you do have a hard time sleeping, you can download apps like Calm, Abide. I personally will, if I'm having difficulty, sometimes I will do that. Sometimes I'll just take out my journal and write down a few things, or have a notepad, write down a few things, because if we can download what's in our mind, we can release our mind and free our mind from ruminating on things over and over again. They need a place to go. So that's why we're taking them from moving around up here. We're actually putting it down on paper. Maybe you have your journal and maybe you have your planner. So it can just go there, or a sticky note. But make sure you have a place where you can download those thoughts. Okay? So now we're waking up. We're waking up. What is our routine? So for me, the routine is making sure that as we're bookending that last 20 minutes, that first 20 minutes, because you want to be sleeping on the anxiety producing news and having the TV on, which has so many programs throughout the night you have no control over. All of that is going to fuel your thoughts and subconscious. So let's make sure that if we're doing that we're going to commit to being intentional about what type of content we have playing. And ideally, it can be timed where it's going to go off. So we're waking up. I personally like to wake up and start my morning every single morning with reading a short scripture from the Bible app. Sometimes most days, almost every day, my day is a bit full. So I may not have time to do a long reading or a long study, but I can commit to investing in my well-being at least 10 minutes in the morning. And I choose to commit that. And even if you're in a busy household, you have the kids and the school, it is worth it. You will receive return on investment and wake up an extra 15 minutes early. So I have my reading. I always gratitude journal. At least that's my intention. There are days that I don't get to it until later because maybe I have a little curveball in the morning. The other thing is important is I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. My phone is on Do Not Disturb until the time in which I'm ready to wake up and interact with the world. So that might be, I wake up early, 6:30. If I need to sleep in, 7 o'clock, I may adjust it. It just takes literally about 10 to 15 seconds. It's worth your rest so you're not having those dings and pings all throughout the night. And so you're waking up, you're playing, I also play music. I put on certain songs. Every morning I start with certain songs that really inspire my space, that's welcoming peace into my home, that's welcoming harmony into my spirit. And I start my day off by tapping my playlist. Right now I have some spa meditation music playing, and I usually do when I'm presenting. It's just a way to create calm and inviting tranquility to all 5 senses. You can see I light my candle. I have my aromatherapy sprays made with all natural essential oils around the room. So this one is Bliss. So I've already sprayed it. I'm going to add a little bit more. So that takes about 5 seconds. If you don't have my sprays, you can get them online, or you can just grab some essential oils. So I'll give you a quick overview of essential oils that elevate your mood and your senses. Sweet orange is a good one. And I always say it's really amazing how nature works. When we want to think of happy, bright colors, you think of even the smiley faces. They're always yellow, right? Well, oranges and citrus scents make us feel joyful. They allow the brain to take us to a place. That's why they're called aromatherapy. They have therapeutic benefits. So they actually transform the neurosenses where they make you feel happy, joyful, and citrus scent is a natural antidepressant. So you could just actually put a few drops in your water when you're washing your face or in your shower, so it can actually work as an aromatherapy steam. Lemongrass is also in our, we call this blend Bliss that has our citrus aromatherapy. It's also inspiring. So I want to start my morning off inspired with joy. If I'm feeling, sometimes I use this throughout the day, my peppermint eucalyptus, which is our invigorating. You can see I have my whole assortment of products here. I might miss that because that's great for headaches. That's great for congestion. It's also great to give me a little boost of, invigoration throughout the day. And then I wind down my days with our heavenly scent. This is my fave. And I also spray this sometimes throughout the day. So this is Heavenly is made with lavender and vanilla. Lavender is wonderful for stress release. It's also great for even soothing irritated skin. And it's great just to create a sense of calm in your space. So again, you can spray, you can mist. We have wonderful blends at UtopiaSGW.com, but you can also go and just buy your essential oils and you can put them in a mister. They might not be blended, but I like to create blends that have a really wonderful aroma to them. And we really want to use more natural scents and essential oils versus synthetic scents. Synthetic scents that are man-made, those air fresheners, things that have all of those chemicals, they are also filled with toxins that can cause other areas of breakdown in the brain and in the body. So maybe make it an intention as you go into 2022 to also kind of level up your detoxing your home game, as well as leveling up your aromatherapy game. You can put a few drops in your shower. I am a bath girl. You all know this. So I take baths throughout the day. I mean, not throughout the day. Sometimes when it's cold, I have been known to take more than one, but every day I take a bath every evening, unless I'm traveling and I'm in a foreign bathroom, have a foreign bathroom, then I'll shower. So you can either do both to have a aromatherapy bath or shower. So I'm going to also share with you in my book, 30 Days to Utopia Living, I actually have a chapter. So it's wonderful because this book actually offers 90 utopian lifestyle strategies, 60 coaching exercises, and daily affirmations. And so in the section for Utopia Living for the Body, we offer some really good goodness in here. So we offer some smoothie recipes to start your day off from a nutritional perspective. One of them is my beautiful skin blend kale smoothie. The recipe is in here, but a little protein powder of choice, some fresh pineapple, banana. I like to add slices of ginger, which is wonderful for inflammation. And then maybe you sweeten with agave nectar or like a monk fruit. And I use, for me personally, I like to use non-dairy. So I'll use a almond milk most of the time and some ice, and it will be amazing. We also have in here recipes for baths. So if you're a person that has a very busy schedule, at least commit to a day of the week that you really are leveling up. Every day, you should be starting your day with your self-care practices and ending. But maybe it's a self-care Sunday. That typically is my most relaxed day of the week. But again, I do my baths every single day. And so here we have Utopian Bath Recipes on page 57. You can find the book on Amazon. Just go to Amazon.com, Utopia Living or Naya Powell. It is a #1 bestseller. And so here you can actually add a handful of Epsom salts to your bath. You can add in about 10 drops of essential oils. You can use a carrier oil. So you can actually use a base of a jojoba oil, almond oil, things of that nature. And so you can kind of put your essential oils into a carrier oil. I personally haven't had any challenges with adding my essential oils to my bath. But if you find that your skin is a little sensitive, try adding it to a carrier oil first, then adding that to your bath. So I'm going to let you know the blend that I have in here is a lavender, grapefruit, peppermint, eucalyptus, orange, chamomile, and rose blend. And they all have different benefits. So you can take a look and see the various recipes that we have for tranquility, for bliss, and for energizing. Wonderful for this time of the year for respiratory system, colds, flus. The peppermint eucalyptus is exceptional for that. So, any other, I see, said she loves to buy, any other self-care strategies? What else are you all doing out there? And where are you struggling? I know that most Americans are struggling with sleep. And that's why I wanted to really address sleep. Most of us are struggling with sleep. Most of us are getting 6.5 hours or less. And my book talks about this, which is really kind of fascinating to understand and see history. So Forbes did an article on Americans and our sleep. And I would imagine, some other parts of the world might be doing a little better, having the opportunity to travel globally. One of the things that I've recognized is that we push ourselves and we work so much harder and have less time to restore than a lot of other cultures. So Utopia Living is really about intentional living. And as we go into 2022, living a life by design and not by default. So we're getting less than 6 hours of sleep. However, in 1910, people were getting an average of 9 hours per night. So I want you to really think about how you're going to really create meaningful self-care regimens. When I wake up, I manifest positivity by saying a positive affirmation for the day, and it sets the stage for self-care and discipline throughout my day. Self-care is not selfish, it's a need. Thank you. And I've heard that said, that self-care is selfish. Actually, I think it's selfless. Because when you take time to make sure that your well-being is intact, then that means not only do you care about yourself, but you care how you show up for others. We can be there for our families, our communities, our loved ones, our colleagues, our clients, so much better if we take a moment to pause and level up our self-care. And I love that, starting our day with an affirmation. This book also has affirmations, and I use my book. I love my book. This book has actually been my survival guide of how I've been able to navigate through, extremely hard seasons of life. And I've had to create a self-care toolkit to make it a practice, an intention of how I live my life. So those practices are everything. So I'm going to quickly just kind of roll through our utopian lifestyle strategies. Start the morning off with do not disturb, no phone. Elevate your atmosphere with inspiring music, something that's calm, that's tranquil, or that's going to get you. I even go into phase 2. From when I first wake up to when I'm getting ready for my meeting and getting dressed, I'll do something that's going to really pump me up. Your 20-minute book endings, make sure what you're starting the day off with the first 20 minutes and ending the day with is going to be inspiring to your spirit and non-anxiety producing. Make sure that you are incorporating an affirmation and one that I love or a quote. Almost everything will work again if you unplug it for a few minutes, including you. So think about that. I know that today is going to be amazing and filled with favor. That's one of the ones that I like to say. So create or research and have a list of affirmations ready to go. Start with some tea time. I decided to replace my lattes with this very healthy, it's called mud water. It has masala chai, it has turmeric, it has cinnamon, it has cacao, and it has different mushrooms. So that's how I'm starting my day. And even my cup, Belize is one of my favorite places. We did a global retreat there, is inspiring me. I also have a nighttime tea. I have chamomile, but I also love my Binnacle spice, and it's a decaf tea, and this is a part of my simmer down routine. Lighting candles and turning down the lights maybe at a certain time, maybe at 9 o'clock, you start to turn down bright lights using subtle lamp lights. You're lighting your candles, and maybe you have some nice relaxation music in the background, and you're misting the lavender scent, or you prepare your tranquility bath. And then make sure that you're putting that phone again on do not disturb for the evening and turning off news and anxiety producing content. I would say an hour before you go to bed, and make sure that you're starting your morning off journaling with at least 3 things that you are grateful for, and perhaps you even go to bed the same way. There's no way your day will not be elevated, and these are wonderful ways to really create self-care rituals. So I love this. This is, yes, I love the new Focus app on iPhone. It allows us to automate do not disturb. Yes, yes. So there's a Focus app that allows you to do that. So as we go into our day, thank you for joining. Let's just take a moment to be mindful and to really think about setting that and think about and setting the intention for our day. So I'm going to invite you to take a moment to lower your gaze or close your eyes and just take a moment, take in a nice cleansing breath, breathing in the beauty and abundance of life, of this day. Slowly exhaling, releasing any feelings of stress or anxiety. Again, breathing in calm, breathing in peace, exhaling out any tension. On your next breath, I want to invite you to set an intention for your day. What intention would you like to walk out this day? Would you like to live out this day? Maybe it's to operate in a spirit of peace. Maybe it's to be kinder to yourself and others. Maybe it's the word that you anchor yourself in, to be fruitful, to be blessed. Going into the day with a spirit of thanksgiving for being abundantly favored. That means to be abundantly blessed, to receive goodness and greatness from people, from circumstances, for opportunities to open up. I start my day every day thanking. I thank God in advance for abundant blessings, and I encourage you to do the same. Make up in your mind that this is going to be an amazing day, and even the challenges will just make you stronger. But there are going to be so many things that go your way. So say that to yourself. Today, so many things will go my way. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. So I want to thank you all for joining me. I hope you were able to write down and you will continue to cultivate some self-care practices so we can level up in 2022 with a spirit of peace, harmony, and abundance. Thank you, and join us tomorrow. Our last day will be day 7, which is envision your new utopian life. So let's level up, make it a Utopia Living day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.